Every day, we stand at a crossroads faced with a profound choice: to live for the fleeting desires of our flesh, or to dedicate our lives to Jesus Christ. This decision shapes not only our present, but also our eternal future. The Bible reveals a powerful vision of the ultimate victory of Jesus over evil, urging us to consider the path we choose. In the book of Revelation, the Apostle John shares a vision of Jesus' triumphant return. Then I saw heaven opened, and a white horse was standing there. Its rider was named Faithful and True, for he judges fairly and wages a righteous war. His eyes were like flames of fire, and on his head were many crowns. A name was written on him that no one understood except himself. He wore a robe dipped in blood, and his title was the Word of God. The armies of heaven, dressed in the finest of pure white linen, followed him on white horses. From his mouth came a sharp sword to strike down the nations. He will rule them with an iron rod. He will release the fierce wrath of God, the Almighty, like juice flowing from a winepress. On his robe at his thigh was written this title: King of all kings and Lord of all lords. This majestic portrayal reminds us of Jesus' sovereignty and the certainty of his return to establish justice. Our daily lives reflect the choices we make, pursuing selfish desires or embracing the teachings of Christ. Paul warns us in Galatians chapter 5 verses 19 to 21 about the consequences of living for the flesh, listing actions like sexual immorality, idolatry, and jealousy, which lead us away from God's kingdom. In contrast, living by the Spirit produces love, joy, peace, and self-control. The choice is clear. Will we live for temporary satisfaction, or for the eternal kingdom of God? Revelation 19 goes on to describe the final battle where Jesus confronts the forces of evil. Then I saw the beast and the kings of the world and their armies gathered together to fight against the one sitting on the horse and his army. And the beast was captured, and with him the false prophet who did mighty miracles on behalf of the beast. Miracles that deceived all who had accepted the mark of the beast and who worshipped his statue. Both the beast and his false prophet were thrown alive into the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Their entire army was killed by the sharp sword that came from the mouth of the one riding the white horse, and the vultures all gorged themselves on the dead bodies. This passage reveals the fate of those who align with evil and oppose the sovereignty of Christ. Following the defeat of the beast and the false prophet, Revelation describes the ultimate end of Satan's rebellion. When the 1,000 years come to an end, Satan will be let out of his prison. He will go out to deceive the nations, called Gog and Magog, in every corner of the earth. He will gather them together for battle, a mighty army, as numberless as sand along the seashore. And I saw them as they went up on the broad plain of the earth and surrounded God's people in the beloved city. But fire from heaven came down on the attacking armies and consumed them. Then the devil, who had deceived them, was thrown into the fiery lake of burning sulfur, joining the beast and the false prophet. There they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Satan's defeat is final and absolute. Evil will never rise again. Knowing the outcome of this cosmic battle, we are called to live intentionally for Jesus. Romans 12 verse 2 reminds us, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think." The choice is yours, to live for temporary fleshly desires or to follow Jesus, the eternal victor. As we await his return, let us commit to lives that reflect his love, righteousness, and truth. For in the end, his triumph is assured, and with him, so is ours. Choose today whom you will serve.